Welcome on the mic. This is your host, Micah Cannon, and today, I'm going to give you my MVP conversation in a nutshell, also with some other crazy NFL news that happened this week, because this week it was a lot of research, a lot of stuff that had to be done. Every time I seemingly had a video up, something new came up, so I had to do research to get you in this video today. So, whenever this video comes out, whether today or tomorrow, thank you for watching, all in advance. Make sure to like and subscribe, do all of that. And without further ado, we are going to get right into the video. Now, of course, we're going to start off with the MVP conversation. Of course, my number one MVP is everybody's number one MVP, Russell Wilson. If you don't have this guy as your number one MVP, what are you doing? Like, he had a bad game just yesterday on Monday Night Football not Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, my bad. He had a bad game yesterday. It wasn't horrible, but it definitely wasn't Russell Wilson-like. It's not what we're used to seeing from him. He is one of the better quarterbacks in the league, if not the best. I believe that Russell Wilson should have had a way better game. But, it's not the game was terrible, but he should have a better game. But anyhow, he is the number one player for the MVP right now. He has good receivers, but he doesn't have quite incredible receivers yet. Yes, DK Metcalf is good, but he's not there yet. Trust and believe me. DK Metcalf, he's not there yet right now. Tyler Lockett had a great game this week, so he's still a really good NFL receiver. Russell Wilson also, for the first time in seemingly forever, has somewhat of a decent O-line, so he's not getting hit every single play. The ball comes out of his hands, which I think is really helping him. Dude has 19 touchdown passes, maybe even more. As far as I'm concerned, he leads the NFL in TD passes, and once you have 20 touchdown passes in 6 weeks, you're doing something right. You deserve an MVP. He's on route for 58 touchdown passes right now. He's on route for a Peyton Manning 2013 kind of year, and that's really great to see Russell Wilson finally seemingly getting the respect he deserves. He should have been an MVP candidate last year. Nobody was talking about him. This guy threw 35 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. I'm like, why is this guy not an MVP candidate? For consecutive years, he's had one of the best passer ratings in the league. His career high in interceptions was 11, which was, 4 years ago? He's a Super Bowl winner, won multiple trophies when he first came into the league. One of the better rookies we've ever seen. He threw 26 touchdowns as a rookie. I think that Russell Wilson, at the age of 32, is finally getting the respect he deserves, and I think he definitely, up to this point, needs to win MVP. Now, my second favorite for MVP may shock a couple people, but I really think it's Tom Brady, and this is why. Just a year ago, it looked like Tampa Bay was a lost cause. They had, of course, Jameis Winston, who did lead the NFL in passing yards, but threw 30 interceptions. He also threw 30 touchdowns, but 30 interceptions is never good. If 30 was 8, for example, he would have been in a Pro Bowl, but I don't know, people say there's stuff wrong with his eyes, but that's not the point. Tom Brady has gone in and completely changed that locker room. He's gone in and he's become a leader within a matter of just a year. And really, it's exposing the fact that Tom Brady was a great quarterback and Bill Belichick is not as good of a coach as we thought he was. Because in New England, they're having trouble establishing that new system with Cam Newton. It looks kind of dull. It just looks like the team couldn't score last night, yesterday, whatever you want to call it. They couldn't score. Cam Newton seems like he needs to humble himself. But anyhow, yeah, we're seeing how good of a quarterback Tom Brady is right now. I believe he's near the top in passing touchdowns as well. He has 18. He had a 4 or 5 touchdown day in a blowout. Tampa won 45-20, I believe. Tampa Bay is a really good team. Tom Brady has some of the best targets in the NFL. Then some news coming. He has Antonio Brown, so dude is literally rocking with 4 of the Infinity Stones out here. So who knows? This guy could very well be MVP. My third and final guy for MVP is a bit of a shocker. Maybe not. But I'm just gonna. It's really hard to make this list with only 3 people. But I'm gonna have to give it. I'm going to probably. Man, I'm going to have to give it to Pat Mahomes. That's who I'm going to give it to. They had a big win yesterday. Pat Mahomes is consistently one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's healthy this season. He's also near the top in touchdowns. Hasn't thrown a lot of interceptions this year, to my knowledge at this point. And has one of the best teams in the league. He's also out there rocking with the 4 Infinity Stones. But yeah, he's also out there rocking with Infinity Stones. And yeah, he's just a great quarterback, dude. He's an incredible quarterback. In my opinion, he's the best quarterback that we have ever seen in a very long time, especially for somebody so young, already won a Super Bowl. I expect to see a lot more from Patrick Mahomes coming into the future, but as of right now, he's still my top 3 MVP candidate. Now I'm going to give you 2 honorable mentions. I think that Deshaun Watson needs to be mentioned. This guy is carrying a team on his back with the worst O-line, no running back, and absolutely no wide receivers. It's just insane. Like, they look like for real competition with no running game and no passing game. Their literal number 1 guy is David Johnson. Like, if Tom Brady's rocking with Infinity Stones, then Deshaun Watson is rocking with packing peanuts. Like, this guy has nothing on his team and is somehow willing that team toward wins, and that's insane. I think his impact on the team alone should place him into the MVP conversation. Another guy, it was a rough choice, but given that Josh Allen has had 2 very hard games in a row, I'm going to give it to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is the quarterback of one of the best teams in the league, maybe even the best team in the league right now. He's insane, man. He's one of the he's so accurate, doesn't throw a lot of picks. He's just the ultimate quarterback. He's the ultimate management. I think that him and Patrick Mahomes are very similar in terms of their rushing ability. It has been a hard season for Green Bay back in 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, because everybody was hurt. They just couldn't seem to get over the hump. But now with a great offense, a number 1 wide receiver, and a great defense, I think that these guys are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. I'm pretty sure I predicted that in my first ever video on this channel. These guys are Super Bowl contenders. This team is legitimate. I really like them. So those are my MVP candidates. Those are my 5. Let me know your 5 down in the comments. But we're going to get into some of the news that happened this week. And of course, the biggest news is Antonio Brown. I don't even feel like I have to say anything to exactly explain to you how huge this news is. Antonio Brown 2-3 years ago was seen as, by some people, the best wide receiver in the NFL, and there was really no arguing that. 1,500 yards, he can score touchdowns like a machine. He had great foot skills, great route running. He has everything you want from a wide receiver, and I think that Tom Brady collecting the last Infinity Stone will make the best of him. But the message from his head coach, Bruce Arians, he said, be a team player, leave. So, Bruce Arians is not playing around with this guy. He wants him to be a team player. I'm personally rooting for him. I want Antonio Brown to be a great player in Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay could possibly win a Super Bowl. As they're in the World Series now. Because, it's crazy. Because I went to Tampa Bay like a month ago. And now all of a sudden, all of their teams are amazing. Well, not a month ago. More like 4. But, the Lightning won the championship. Their NHL team. Their MLB teams in the World Series. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Maybe I need to leave Atlanta for 2 weeks and then come back and see what happens. But either way, yeah, I'm rooting for that team. I'm rooting for Antonio Brown to return, humble, ready to go. Another big thing of the week, I think it's really time for the Cowboys, because, man, they anonymous Cowboys players, because they won't give us the names, typical, because the NFL is a money-making business and they don't want their best players destroying their own images. They said that they don't think the coaching staff is good at their jobs, and that's huge, because it's one thing if the fans don't think you're good at your job. It's a whole nother thing when the players themselves don't think you're good at your job. Like, the Dallas Cowboys going into this season, they had the leading offense, but of course Dak Prescott getting carted off with that horrible injury. How in the world is this team this bad? Like, you have Zeke, you have Michael Gallup, who in my opinion is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. You have Amari Cooper. You think, even with Andy Dalton, you think that this team should still be good. He got injured yesterday, by the way. You think that, okay, this team should still be a fair contender. They've scored like maybe 20 points in the past 2 games, and it's been ugly to see. Like, it's been bad to see. They have a terrible defense. It's time to press the panic button over there. And personally, if I'm Ezekiel Elliott, I want out of there. I think Ezekiel Elliott could just use a fresh start. I think that Ezekiel Elliott needs to go to another team where he's going to get fed the rock and where he's going to get blocked for. Because Dallas is not the place. It's not. Dallas just is not the way to go. I don't see anything good coming out of Dallas. Yeah, it's time for them to press the panic button. Dak Prescott getting injured, that really ruined their season. Seems like it derailed everything. Seems like nobody can get into their groove. But yeah, Dallas Cowboys, that's what you get when you're in Jerry's world. A dude that only cares about money and not the players themselves. Another thing, the last thing I want to talk about, I'm actually going to do a reaction video on this. The Falcons have invented another way of choking, which is accidentally scoring a touchdown. As a Falcons fan, as you can see from probably the various background of my room back here, as a Falcons fan, I have nothing to say about that. Now, that's insane how you lose that game. Julio Jones, a ton of yards. Like, how do you lose that game, Atlanta? I'm trying to process. I am trying to process. We lost to the Detroit Lions, who we had beat. I don't really know. But anyways, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Of course, there was a lot of news this week. I'm sorry I got this video out late. It was a ton of research to do, ton of stats. But hey, we got it done. If you guys want me to do college football, let me know. I'll probably put out a college football episode tomorrow. Probably going to put out my reaction episode along with this one. But anyways, thank you for watching. I will catch you on the next episode.